Hello, my name is Nancy Levy with Virtual Fundamentals. I'm an internet marketing consultant, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with Roger Aspinwall, who is the owner of a brand new exciting startup here in South Florida called BlueStar Greens. Welcome, Roger.
Thank you very much, Nancy. I'm very happy to be here and speaking with you. And you.
Good. So why don't we just jump right in and talk about what BlueStar Greens is, what the company produces, who they produce it for, so that the audience knows all about your journey with this exciting endeavor.
I appreciate that very much. Well, we are an urban vertical farm enterprise. What that is that we produce vegetables inside in a climate control environment. Within, in this case, warehouses of about the 2,500 square foot environments and about 10 levels of production. We are, in this case, our target market at this time are the chefs of South Florida for upscale restaurants, which we have talked with before, and they have identified what they would like to have from this type of environments that we are growing.
Okay. So give us a timeline of when you started. You're actually building the infrastructure,
right,
and setting it up electronically so that it has sensors and talks to each other.
That is correct. Actually, we're building a pilot right now in Doral, but the story goes back about 4 years or so, almost 5 now, in which I developed the software and the sensing environment and tested in a greenhouse environment outside, not inside as we are doing it right now. So from that beginning, we have moved to now, in which it is very cost effective. It's becoming very cost effective to produce the vegetables, and in this case, microgreens for us in large quantities in this type of environments.
Okay, I want you to explain microgreens, because I know when you and I first talked, what are microgreens, and they're a specific stage in the vegetable's life.
That is correct. Microgreens are from the seeding time to about 7 to 10 days, they grow about 3 inches, and at that time they're harvested. So the plant that is between the sprout and the baby greens, that time frame, it is what is now being labeled as a microgreen. The beauty of it is actually they're very beautiful and colorful. It is their taste is incredible. They carry a tremendous punch of flavor as you put in your mouth. But besides that, or in addition to that, they carry tremendous amount of nutrients.
Okay. And so when did this whole movement start in terms of using microgreens at upscale restaurants?
Right. This is about now, it's taken 5 or so years back. It started as a trend in California because chefs, as you well know, are very creative people, and they use the microgreens. At that time, they used it to add a beautiful appearance to their dish creations, right? But in addition to that, now they're using it to add these changing flavors, the freshness of it, and now the nutrition, of course, that is beginning to get well known due to a USDA research they've done on these microgreen plants, which identify the beauty or the amount of nutrients that they carry, even larger at that point than the full-grown plant.
Yeah. So once you start hearing about microgreens, and we'll put some photos with this picture, you'll start noticing them everywhere. Every restaurant that you go to, they're used as a garnish, either on the salad or on the main dish. I was recently out in San Francisco at a farmer's market that had just vats and vats of microgreens everywhere, because a lot of chefs shop there. But so it has the same nutritional or more nutritional value than the entire plant. So if you think of a thing with 3 leaves having as much as an entire head of broccoli,
right?
Which is kind of amazing. So that's really exciting. Tell us about the grow facility in terms of how It can be monitored. First of all, you can control the water, you can control the electricity, and it can be monitored from outside the facility via computer.
Right. Our objective has always been to create these environments that are self-managing environments in which all the sensing and decision-making processes are performed by the equipment, by the electronics themselves. And for us to be able to visualize what is going on, to receive information graphically on your computer remotely, right? So you could be anywhere in the world and be able to see what is going on inside that facility. But in addition to that, it is not just being able to see what is going on, but also to act when needed and informed by the environment itself that the human intervention needs to be called upon. So you can act either from your PC or your phone.
It's very exciting, very modern, very efficient.
Yeah, it is. It is. That is the whole intent of this. Efficiency is key for us, and that the automation, it is something that we have spent a lot of time working. Not only the automation, but the cost of automating. We wanted to make it really cost efficient. Instead of throwing just money at it, we worked very hard putting together just the key pieces to maintain the functionality that is needed.
Yes, I think everybody can understand the frugality of a startup.
Right? Absolutely.
Which is why we're not surrounded by big cameras and a production company. We're sitting here at the Innovation Hub, which is an incubator for startups here in Fort Lauderdale. And but we did want to get the message out, and hopefully you'll follow along as this continues and see the progress. But so when do you expect to be planting and your first harvest will take place?
The pilot project will be completed at the end of this month, and we'll turn on, we'll turn on the lights. Well, basically the seeding would have started, and we will expect to have our first harvest and the first or second week in December, at which time we'll be able to take this product to the chefs that we have visited in the past, and they're aware what it is that we are doing, and begin the process of providing to them, supplying to them as they have requested.
Yeah. So obviously Roger started his career not as a farmer. I mean, he's an engineer and he's worked with computer systems for a long time. But what this really does is it allows in a relatively small amount of space
Correct.
for the farm to be close to the customers,
Correct.
chefs, so it's farm to table.
Correct.
And that it can be, microgreens can be delivered to the chefs year round, because in South Florida, our climate would not allow that.
That is correct. Yeah, the intent also is once you have this environment that is self-managing electronically, the way we are growing this is basically using two types of techniques. The aeroponics techniques, in which we are spraying the roots of the plant, and the other one is the hydroponics, in which the roots get submerged in the nutritional value. And that depends on what type of seed we are working and the duration of their growth. And so that is the environment that now we have tested, and that we have gone through the accelerator program here in Broward County that help us validate the idea, the product, and the market, to line them all up together. And I tell you, it was very rigorous. It was very hard to go through all of that. We spoke to about 100 people to get to that point of validation.
Yes, I was one of the instructors in that program. It's called Startup Now, and it is an awful lot of work.
Absolutely.
It takes a lot of time beyond going out and interviewing potential clients. They then have to go through a rigorous program of writing a business plan and doing an investor pitch and that sort of thing. So it's not like one day you get an idea, and next day you're in business, and the next day you're a millionaire.
Right. Oh, yeah. Well, we love that to happen. But in this process, right, the way we are now addressing the market took shape, because from where we started to where we ended up is day and night. Now the company is very focused. We know precisely what the market requires, and we are going to deliver that at the cost effectiveness that they are also clamoring.
Right. And is this being done anywhere else?
Yeah, there's in California, of course, they are beginning to do this work, and I visited several of them. I worked with some of them. I tried to put my software in place. At that time, I was selling software, but decided at the very end that I better not, because it became too complicated, the logistics of it, because every vertical farmer has their own way of doing things, and we would spend too much time basically kind of fixing all that. So California is doing that, but I found there that the expense that they go through that to grow this, it is just way too high. Somehow they lost a little bit of the functionality of this. So that is one reason why I'm not there anymore. There are also, we have here and everywhere else also farmers that are using soil to grow the microgreens. And of course, with that, you have all the potential pathogens that could invade the plant and make your business really take a nosedive.
Plus, then they need the pesticides.
Plus, exactly.
Which is a big, the population does not want that anymore.
Right. And we've seen what has happened in the past, right, with all the salmonella in our vegetables and all of that. Well, that's the whole idea for us, right, to be able to produce this in which almost no human hand is involved. There are no pesticides. There is no exposure to environment. If air is being filtered in, and the grow is very much controlled from the beginning of the seeding all the way to the harvest and delivery, for that matter.
So to help people visualize the grow center, because we're not yet doing video tours of it. So, and because it's going to be replicated down the line, so this is all going to be very specific, so that when we want to set up center 2 or center 15 or center 20 or center 250, that it's all very automated. We know exactly what sizes and where to drill the holes, and it's sort of like a Lego put together.
Yes, you explained it perfectly.
But it's inside and then it's covered.
Correct. Here, there are two ways of doing this, and the way we're doing the pilot right now is we're using a warehouse, but the grow center inside is already covered with a almost like a greenhouse inside the facility, right? So we can control the inputs and outputs very nicely. We're not exposed to the regular environment. Now, and of course, the idea is for us to be able to, and I always keep on repeating this, from the moment we sign the lease of a place at noon, at 6 o'clock that evening, we're basically up and ready to go, right? To be able to plug things quickly and bring the technology and all of that. So everything is being thought out in such a way that we can replicate and scale up very quickly. So, and the facilities, I call them intelligent grow facilities, are about 2,500 square foot. That is the size that we have identified that can provide a good production for the market that we are attempting. And it produces, if you could imagine, right, 2,500 square foot times 10, because we go in layers, that you can produce quite a bit of vegetables. And we produce about a pound per 2 square feet of area.
Especially that's the benefit of the microgreens too, because they only grow so tall.
Exactly.
So it's just perfect for this layer.
Correct.
Gardening or farming. So what are the prices of microgreens?
That's interesting. The microgreens, depending on the type of seed that the chef desires, the prices can be from $35 and $40 a pound to about $90 a pound. So they are fairly expensive vegetables. And the reason for that is from the moment you harvest, you have to consume that within the next 5 days, because the nutritional value begins to decay very quickly, unless you put it, of course, in the storage and you in the climate control. But still, right, it's not the same as you take it from your growing farm to your table as quickly as you can And that is the reason why we are positioning ourselves very close to our market, right? So we can have this daily delivery if that is what they desire, or as maximum 3-day delivery. So they always have fresh products in their hands.
How is it about water usage? I mean, is it?
Yeah. The reason we are using aeroponics is because it is optimized to kind of spray almost like a cloud of water to the roots, right? And there's some technology behind the technology, but some natural stuff that the plant uses depends on the droplets, the microns of the droplets needs to be decided, all of that, right? So the plants are smart enough to, I guess, request that type of the stuff. So we use the aeroponics, which is extremely water efficient.
Right. And then it's also environmentally friendly because you're not shipping things from California here to South Florida.
Right. It's the whole idea is, again, to become the chef's backyard garden.
Yeah. And to have them all over the country.
Right. And being able to replicate, right? So as we identify new markets, we'll be able to quickly position ourselves to grow and supply to these new markets.
Wonderful. Well, I'm very excited to be part of it as it grows. And you can learn more about the company by going to the website at bluestargreens.com. If you want to get in touch with Roger, his number is
954-330-0084.
And subscribe to the YouTube channel for Blue Star Greens. And down the line, you'll be able to see an actual walkthrough of the grow facility,
exactly.
A video of it. And just in closing, if you tell us how you came up with the name of the company.
Okay, BlueStar is the representation. The blue part is the BlueStar is our Earth, right? It's the blue planet known in our universe. And of course, the greens, which are what give us the life that we're having right now.
Wonderful. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you again soon. Take care.
Take care. Thank you. Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you.